Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Subby here, still at the Weather Center on this Friday evening. It is 5 o'clock. I want to kind of give a live update. This is likely not going to be a very long live broadcast right now, but tell you a couple things I am concerned about for this evening that I would like to share with you guys. First off, of course, there's no severe thunderstorm warnings. There are no special weather statements. We just have some strong, robust thunderstorms that are moving in from the southwest going northeast again. That same training of thunderstorms. Now, we do have a pretty good storm right now in Cass County, directly over Westline, Lake Annette, and it's going to be moving into Freeman, Prettyman, Peculiar, and then eventually over toward Harrisonville. So, but one of the most concerning aspects of this is taking a look at this line of thunderstorms. They are not moving very fast, and they are putting down tremendous rainfall amounts. So the way it looks right now, this line of storms is going to continue to go the same direction. I would not be surprised if more flash flood warnings for Cass, Jackson, Wyandotte, Johnson County, Kansas, maybe even Johnson County, Missouri, Lafayette County, as these storms continue to track up to the northeast. I'll put this into motion. You guys can kind of see these things are not moving very fast at all. I think average speed is about 20 miles per hour. So they're going to sit and dump loads of rain. So here we are, 5:09 on a Friday night. A lot of people are going to be hitting the road. They're going to be heading to the lake. They're going to be coming home from work. So again, all of the roadways up here, I-49, 50 highway, 435, I-70. You guys need to be prepared for some torrential rainfall. Now, there is a very, very small window of possibility of some stronger thunderstorms with a little bit of a tornadic um, chance with some of these storms. It's not very high. It's not looking all that impressive right now. The Storm Prediction Center did have a 5% risk over kind of the Kansas City metro area down to Lee Summit, Peculiar, and then up toward Smithville area. We're still going to be watching those cells up in that area, but right now I think the biggest threat is going to be for the flooding rains that are going to be associated with these thunderstorms as they come into a very moist air mass. All you got to do is just go outside for about 5 minutes and you'll understand that. Dew points are very, very high, gives us that high precipitable value. How much can we squeeze out of the atmosphere as far as moisture, and those amounts are very, very high that are possible with any of these thunderstorms. So definitely wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up on that for right now. Hi, Chris. Catherine Brock. They're in Drexel this afternoon. We do have Nader Boys. He was out. I was answering some questions there in his chat. He had a good feed up there, seeing that cell coming from Miami County into Cass County. And of course, it is weakening as it's coming in to Cass County, but it's still packing a pretty good punch for those up here. Freeman, Westline. Looks like this might stay just north of Harrisonville. And Belton, Raymore, Peculiar, you guys are going to get some torrential rains, maybe a few lightning strikes as well. So definitely something, if you guys have to get out on the road, make sure that you take it easy. It's Friday night. Traffic's going to be horrible. I know everybody wants to get home, but try to take it easy. We're going to see a lot of ponding on the roadways. We're going to see little creeks and streams rise here over really overnight tonight, because this line of storms extends all the way down here into south central Kansas, and they're all moving up to the northeast. So definitely something we're going to have to watch as far as the flooding concern. Um, I'm just kind of noticing this down here. You guys see, looks like there could be a pretty big fire down here in Jericho Springs, possibly. You see how there's like a smoke balloon that actually goes straight up and starts right there in the same spot. That could be a hot spot down there in Jericho Springs. Possibility of a fire down there, maybe. I'll have to check in on that. But again, we up here in the KC metro area, down through Cass County, Jackson County, Johnson County, Kansas. That's an area. Be looking for any stronger thunderstorms. It's going to be up here closer to the center of this disturbance, this front. And of course, there you get a little bit better lift, you get a little bit better rotation. That's the reason why there's a very small area that has that tornado risk up there around the KC metro area. So and again, be weather aware if you're going to be traveling up in that neck of the woods. The rest of us here in west central Missouri, I still think we have a potential to see an isolated thunderstorm. Ours are going to be more isolated in nature. We're not going to have necessarily the training of thunderstorms over most of west central Missouri, and I'm kind of talking Pettis, Benton, Henry, St. Clair, Vernon, Bates County. We're likely not going to see those constant training of thunderstorms, but we could see a few isolated thunderstorms. And of course, with any of those thunderstorms, we could get a strong wind gust with any of them. So definitely want to let you guys know about that. And again, we're going to be watching this very closely. Any of these cells that move up here to the Kansas City area. I do have a meeting coming up here in about an hour. So I'm going to be a little bit out of the loop. I'm going to be kind of leaning on Nader Boys. Isaac, he is out and about tonight, kind of keeping me up to date on what's going on. I'm going to be right here at the station. I'm going to have everything ready to go live, but I'm going to be a little bit taken for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Here in about an hour. So want to make sure I get on here, give you guys an update what we can expect. And really, for the most part, Cass County, maybe up in northwest Johnson County on the Missouri side here over the next hour or two. You'll start to see some of these heavy rains start to move into your county. So make sure you guys keep that in the back of your mind if you're out traveling tonight, going out to eat. Maybe you're heading down to the lake. So make sure you keep that in mind as you're heading down the roadways. Take your time, slow down just a little bit. We want to make sure everybody gets to their destination safely tonight. Hi, Sadie. Hi, Ashley. So that's really about all that's going on right now, guys. And again, I would encourage you all to, take a look. Make sure you guys follow Nader Boys on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you follow their site. I think Isaac is going to be watching these storms as they cross the line up here in Bates County. He's going to be watching them closely, following them. And then, of course, he's going to be in communication with me throughout my meeting so that, if need be, I can jump back in here to the studio and go live again down here at the station. So, and again, everybody stay weather aware this evening. You guys are going to have to stay weather aware up there in the KC Metro, Cass County, Johnson County, Missouri, Lafayette County, Wyandotte County. You guys are going to have to stay very vigilant tonight, only because of the flooding threat. If you're going to be out and about, you have to pay close attention to the roadways, slow down. There's going to be a lot of ponding out there on the roadways. And of course, when you get that ponding, you can hydroplane at 50 miles per hour. So it don't take much. So make sure you guys pay attention to the roadways. And then, of course, if anybody has any questions, feel free. You guys can reach out to me. And again, I'm going to be tracking these storms here for about the next 30 minutes or so. And then I'm going to have to, and again, I got a meeting tonight, going to be out of the loop for a little while. Make sure you guys check out Nader Boy, check out their stream. Make sure you follow them. Isaac Levy, they do a great job when we have storms coming into west central Missouri. They do a good job tracking them, as well as Storm Chase. So make sure you give them a follow, show them a little bit of love. So you can't hear me very good, Daddy-O. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Nothing has changed. You might want to turn your volume up on your TV. I'm being kind of a smarty pants, but heck, you guys can't see me probably very good either. I just now noticed that I got my chat going all the way down and all the way down, about halfway down my face right now. Let's see if I can maybe move that up just a little bit. Actually, it looked better when it was covering my ugly mug. Hey, Cody from Sedalia, Cocamp area. Good to have you here on the stream. And again, don't be too concerned. Just stay weather aware tonight. These things, the only reason why they have that 5% risk for tornadoes is going to be for little spin ups, because it's there's a lot of rotation going on up in our atmosphere up there in that little area around the KC Metro down to Lee Summit into Cass County. So we got some boundaries out there too, leftover boundaries. I know you guys are getting sick of me talking about outflow and boundaries, but that's what happens this time of year when we get into the heart of summer. We're definitely watching for these little frontal boundaries that outflow boundaries that serve as cold fronts. Thunderstorms can blossom right behind them, just like it did on last Monday when we got all that rain here in west central Missouri. Wasn't really expected, but all of a sudden we get an outflow boundary and thunderstorm blew up along it. So, and again, we still have that cell here in Cass County. Right now, it's going to be heading into Belton. It kind of did a little bit of a split. So the north part's heading into Belton, south part's moving into Peculiar, and the north side of Harrisonville right now. We also have another cluster of storms out here near Osawatomie, and another one down here near Burlington, Kansas, and then a lot of little isolated thunderstorms in between. So really from KC Metro, Blue Springs, Lee Summit, down to around Harrisonville, that's going to be a corridor here over the next couple hours where you're going to be seeing a lot of those heavier rainfall amounts. So, again, there's no flash flood warnings out there right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a few of them start popping up here over the next few hours. So if anybody has any kind of any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, give Nader Boys a like and a follow on YouTube and on Facebook. They're going to be covering these storms here over the next couple hours. And then if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Isaac, and we'll make sure we'll get your questions answered. Everybody have a great evening. Stay weather aware. We'll be talking to you soon.